morning. So today is like week 5, okay? And so we will be having this week, and then next week, hold on, you will be starting your finals on Thursday, May 5th, okay? So that goes to all this week, and then next week, towards the end of the week, you have your finals, all right? So I thought that maybe we do the homework this week and then we do the final this week, so that way next week you prepare and you don't have to worry, okay? So if you have a problem with that, if you could please reach out, or there's some concerns, if you'll reach out to me, then that'd be great. I could probably work something out for you. But if everybody's in agreement, then we will have the homework, okay? And then we will have the final all this week. It's just 2 chapters, basically what you've been doing all along. Remember, math, it's not, the final's going to be a quiz, but the other chapter is going to be homework, even though it says quiz, okay? So I will probably give you all the way to Thursday or Friday, possibly Friday, so you can get them in. And I think that's what we'll do, okay? So I'm kind of melancholy today. I came from Atlanta yesterday, so stayed up late, getting your dashboards ready. And so I had a cousin that passed away, a first cousin, and I just really, really sad. So, so if you see me kind of off, that's what it is. And then just really reflecting on life, right? As we did with COVID, that life is precious, and, the relationships that we have, we really need to nurture them and take care of them, and really, not take each other for granted. I know that I've taken my husband for granted many of time, and so I reflected upon that yesterday. And so it's, so just be mindful. You guys are really young, and so, I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe you all have more understanding than I am. So I hope you guys are doing really well, and I hope that you're nurturing your relationships, and if you have a great partnership of any kind, and great relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with friends, and if you have a great partnership with partners and or possibly spouses, take care of them. Just because you have a good relationship doesn't mean that you don't work on them, okay? It's particularly specifically at that time that you need to work on them more. And if you don't have a good relationship currently, and I don't know why I'm talking about this, but if you don't have, probably somebody needs to hear it. If you don't have a good relationship currently, try to just be you and try to focus just on you and try to be present, okay? The more time that we spend and the more times that we've had with our partnerships and our spouses, the harder it is, and the more that we live in the past. So it's very important to be present, and it's very important to just focus on yourself. Don't focus on what they do, what they did, what they didn't do, what they, whatever. Just, focus on yourself and be the best version of yourself every single day. And that's really what life is about in this journey. This journey is about going through life and learning and being the best that you can be always with everybody, in spite of what anybody has ever done to you, okay? Or in spite of whatever baggage you have. That's why in your dashboard, in your discussion board, I have that one about, baggage. Are you going to pick up the baggage or leave it behind? Is sort of what it seems, right? So, so lots of reflection this weekend. So I thought I'd start off with a fortune cookie just to see what we get before I go on to our homework and our assignments. The other thing, I think evaluations are probably up, hopefully, or maybe they're you guys already did them. I would really appreciate a great evaluation if that's what you're called to, and if you're not, I would really appreciate the opportunity to to dialogue with you and see why it is that, you're not happy, as opposed to hearing it in the evaluation, right? Because, we get our evaluations. And so if I don't know what you all, are dissatisfied with, and I have, mostly everybody's satisfied and pleased with the class. It is an online class. I am very different, and so, so sometimes I'm very misunderstood. But this class is really about learning how to be online, really about being responsible, meeting your deadlines, and really being, showing up for life, okay? And in the process, hopefully you learn something about meditation and you learn something about being the best version of yourself. All the work that we've been seeing is really stuff that you saw back in high school or elementary, and it's just a refresher. The Teams meetings hopefully helped. We probably won't have a Teams meeting this week, but we'll have one next week if that's okay with you guys, basically at the beginning, and that way you don't have to worry about it, and we can set it up and you guys, can just show up to the Teams meeting, so that there will also not be an SU link for attendance, okay? But you do need to comment below. But going back to that, so if there isn't, if sometimes people don't get it and sometimes people don't understand what my class is. And my class in part is really easy because I want you to have 100, and I want you to be able to use my grade as leverage for the other classes that you're going to have difficulty with, or maybe you just had a bad term because there's a lot of stuff that happens. So my class is really about really knowing about yourself, about business, about how to present with yourself, about you really meeting deadlines, about how to properly use vocabulary and how to properly use math, okay? But it's something that you already know, so it's really just about perfecting that, and it's really a refresher course specifically for both, for grammar and English, right, and technical writing, as well as for math. It's about just doing the basics, right, that we haven't maybe done for a long time. So that's really what my class is about. I try to do it as easy as I can and as painful as I can, and try to get you to just get the work done so you don't have to worry about my class and really focus and optimize your hours. So there's a lot of misunderstanding sometimes from students towards me. I don't know why there's I don't know, sometimes it's very, overwhelming, okay? So if you, so if there's something about the class that you sort of didn't like, would like the opportunity for you to voice it, either Teams or chat. You guys know that I'm available all the time before I see it in my evaluations. Overall, I have really good evaluations. So I would really like to perfect that. And so it's really about understanding what kind of class I have and why it is that I do the class that I can do. Because remember, I can make the curriculum as hard as I can, right? But that's not what I'm here for, and I have nothing to prove, right? I've done it all. So I just want you to, sort of get through, your general ed classes, at least with me, just effortlessly, okay? But that doesn't mean without any work, because we have to substantiate that you came to class and that we were here and we showed up. And I found that YouTube was a really easy way to do that. You have the video available, 24, you can comment at any time. They're quick comments, usually the video is long, right? But it's sort of like a class, and it's sort of like an attendance. So really hoping that, and I have a couple of haters that really hated on me with Rate Your Teacher. So if anybody has the opportunity, and if you feel compelled to maybe balance that out for me, that would be great, and I would amazingly love it, because I look like I'm this horrendous teacher, and maybe I am a bad teacher, I don't know, right? I've been in business for more than 25 years, so I would think that I would know what I'm doing. But it's just people sometimes don't understand where other people are coming from, and that's what I was sort of mentioning in terms of your partnerships and your spouses. Just focus on yourself, and sometimes we misunderstand other people because of their because of our own baggage and our own projection, right? And so so maybe in their eyes, that person, because I'm sure it was just one or two, really did feel that I was a bad teacher, but they didn't understand the benefits that they are getting when they attend my class, because in the end you get 100 if you just show up, and that's amazing. It's very hard to get 100 in college, very, very hard. So anyway, I hope that sort of makes sense, and really would appreciate a great evaluation if that's what you are guided to evaluate, okay? And for all I really, really, part of the reason that I do this is because I love my students, okay? And not only am I here for school, but I'm here for whatever it is that you need me. Like, I've had students that really have gone through a really hard time, and so they call me or they text me. And then I've also had students that, you know, I've reviewed contracts for them because they're about to sign, and, you know, and I sort of go through the contracts with them, and then they choose otherwise because it probably wasn't a very good contract for their, you know, for their employment. So I'm here to help, and I'm here as a resource, and only in collaboration and in unity and in coming together can we all succeed, because my job is to make you succeed. And how can I make you succeed? By the way that I create my curriculum, okay? At least that's what I believe. If you want, you know, if you want a harder curriculum, let me know. I have no problem in creating a harder curriculum for you all. But, you know, I'd also like to be accepted for who I am and what it is that I contribute and bring in, because a lot of people maybe minimize my class. My class is really important, and my class is really important for your GPA, and my class is really important to leverage your status. And so in that sense, my class is probably one of the most important classes that you will ever take in SU. All right, okay, so let's look at your fortune cookie. It says, reality is all a vision. You have to see it for yourself. Okay, so what that means is that you create your own reality, all right? And so it says, is all vision. So whatever it is that you want and whatever it is that you so desire, you have to see it. If you cannot see what you want, okay, then you can't feel it, and then you can't manifest it, and you can't create it. If you do not believe and you do not visualize it and you do not have a vision for it, you won't be able to achieve it, because you can't believe you will get there. So everything is about vision, and everything is about believing. And remember that the only limitations you have are the ones you set. You can achieve anything, just like you thought you couldn't come back to school, and just like you thought that maybe back, you know, whenever, you know, you were in school, you did really bad. You're different now, and you're a different person, and you understand it. So just like you got through this term, you're going to get through the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then eventually you're going to have your certification and your degree, and you're going to say, that wasn't too bad. But only when you get there, okay? And then I have some oracles, all right? And so I have deep, quiet meditation and stillness. So this is about intuition, and this is about being still and meditating in order for you to understand what it is that you want and where it is that you're in. And I think that there's some people that are struggling, because that's all I've talked about today. So if you're struggling with your relationships, or if you're struggling with self, right? So be in quiet, deep quiet and meditation and in stillness. 11 is a very powerful number, in math as well. Okay, it's what do they call them? I forget what they're called. They're called like main numbers, or I forget what they're called. And so very powerful manifestation number, and 11 is like full alignment, okay? Amethyst, which is this crystal, is about intuition and, higher learning. Intuition, remember that intuition is amazing. It has nothing to do with anything. If you believe in spirituality, it has to do with spirituality. But if it doesn't, it just really means about your gut. And then this one, and there's a progression. So this is 11 and 12. And so in numerology, this is progression. So we are progressing. And this is Dragon's Hoard, protection of the future. So what your vision is right now and what you have created, because you created a vision and you visualize yourself in school, and that's why you're here. And so that is what you are protecting. You're protecting your future, and you are creating your future, and that's why you're in school. So don't give up, okay? And when you're feeling down, or when you're feeling overwhelmed, or finals are coming, or whatever, just keep chugging along, okay? So I hope that helped. And so now I really want to thank the person that does my timestamps. I can't thank you enough, and without you, we wouldn't be able to, people wouldn't be able to go specifically to their timestamps. So thank you very much, and a big shout out to them. And if somebody, if everybody could just really thank them for it, okay? So for English, okay, we will have chapter 4 and chapter 5. Remember that you do all the quizzes and all the practices and all the activities within those chapters, okay? Chapter 4 will be your homework, and chapter 5 will be your final, and that's the way they will be linked, okay? And that's the way the link is going to be. I have not put up up the link, but I will. All right, so just read the chapters and go through them. This will be due on Friday midnight, okay? This will be due on Friday midnight. Okay, so for business math, okay, you will have, we're going to jump from chapter 3 to chapter 6 and chapter 7, because chapter 4 and 5 about equations and stuff, and I just, you know, I don't think that you're going to have, I think chapter 6 and chapter 7 are about percentages and about costs, and I think that those are more relevant for you in terms of life. So we're going to do for homework chapter 6 on page 176, summary practice test. That is going to be the homework, so that is not going to be graded as a quiz, okay? It's going to be graded as a homework. And then for your final, you're going to have chapter 7 on page 208, summary practice test. I think it's problems 1 through 9, and that will be your final. All right, so chapter 6, page 176, that's going to be your homework, summary practice test, and then chapter 7 on page 209, summary practice test, problems 1 through 9, that's going to be your final. And we'll do, I have not put up the links, so I will be putting up the links today. That will be due on Friday midnight, okay? That concludes it. Namaste, love and light.